Hello, Dr. James Bogash, expert in health and longevity, and today we're going to talk about something I've talked about many times before, and that's the flu vaccine, or rather, the ineffectiveness, lack of effectiveness, and maybe even making things worse. Before I go into this study, make sure you like this video, share it with somebody you think needs the information, and subscribe to the channel. So, we have known for a long time that despite what you would believe based on the amount of push and effort we get for everybody to give their annual flu vaccine, that this thing should be fantastic. And yet, as recently as 2018, the Cochrane collaboration finally decided that given all the evidence that we have, it's not likely to change any future recommendations or information about how well flu vaccine works. And the bottom line is it really kind of sucks. Depending upon whether you're looking at seniors, adults, or kids, the protection is in these single-digit percentages. And so the fact that the Cochrane... So it's not that there might not be new research that shows that the flu vaccine is phenomenally effective. It's just not likely given the sheer volume of research we've done, and none of them have come out putting the flu vaccine at the top of the heap as far as being effectiveness. But this year, a study for the 24-25 flu vaccine, which again we gave just as much of a push for, and consider the amount of money and effort that goes towards the flu vaccine. I'll get back to that in a minute, but I'll start with the CDC in Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Reports gave an estimate of this year's flu shot around 36 to 50, 54%, depending upon which study group you were looking at. But not fantastic, but definitely worth something, right? So what did they find at the Cleveland Clinic? Looking at over 53,000 people, and they found that there was the people who had the flu shot were 27% more likely to actually get the flu. There is certainly, this is a preprint, you can look at some of the comments, and some of the comments are like, well, we don't know why, since we don't know why the flu vaccine would make things worse, this can't be true. But that's not true. We know that there could be immune suppression with certain vaccines, even if it's temporary, so there is a mechanism for that. Not to mention any preservatives or even just the stress of going through that. It can absolutely affect immune response. So one of some of the other concerns with this study were like, oh, well, maybe it was a healthy vaccine people who get the vaccine are more likely to get tested. I know personally, I don't think I've ever gotten tested for influenza. Maybe I have, part of a clinical study, but I've never gone out when I'm sick to see what I have, because it doesn't make a difference. So maybe people who get vaccine are more likely to get tested. Again, but they did kind of account for that the researchers did in the study. So even if that was the case, it kind of brings the number up to a 0 instead of increasing the risk. So what does all this mean? The data continually shows, despite what people would have you believe and what people on social media believe, it's minimally effective, if that. And this boils down to my answer for everything, and that's lifestyle changes. Things like vitamin D, sunlight exposure, exercise, a good quality diet. If we just spent as much effort and money as we did on flu vaccines to pushing some of these other things, we'd probably see just as good, if not greater impact on influenza and every other disease known to man, which the influenza vaccine will not. It'll just help with a single thing for a single period of time. But that's been my stance forever. As always, I will post a link to this particular study in the description and the CDC study. And make sure you like this video, share it with somebody you think needs the information, and subscribe to the channel.